Can you hear anything on that one? Is that any better? I've just changed the microphones over and hopefully you should be hearing. Can you hear anything yet? Right, good. I've changed the microphones over. I'm not sure what's happening with the Yeti microphone. That one up there, the big one. However, I've just changed the cameras over, so hopefully you can hear me now. If the quality is not quite as good, I do apologise. But hello, welcome to everybody. Welcome to another edition of a live stream from eModels with me, Ted. Welcome to eModels, emodels.co.uk. That's them. That's them there. And I'll tell you about this model boat in a moment. There's something new in the office. And it was a matter of one of the questions that came in through the emails. If you do have any emails, you can send them to me at ted@emodels.co.uk and I'll try and answer some of your questions. Right, what we're going to look at tonight? Well, we're going to have a look at this. We're going to do some questions and answers. And we're going to have a look at a question that somebody else has sent in. We're going to have a look at some airbrush cleaning. Just to clean your airbrush, just a quick swap between colours for those that are new to airbrushing. And we'll have a bit of chat, silly question time, and everything really. We'll see what happens in the next hour. I do apologise for the little bit of a hitch at the start, but hopefully we've got it sorted and you can hear me at least for the time being. Anyway, let's move on. What's this all about? Well, I had a question from Lee Hoy. Lee, I take it, is on the other side of the world from us, and he asked the question is what is the oldest model that I have? I think this question came up a week or so ago about what happens to all my models. Well, normally I'd sort of move them on. The eModels models go back to eModels themselves when we finish them. But then I suddenly thought I do have one in the shed, and that's this. I'm going to move the camera now, so it might get a little bit shaky, so that you can see the model rather than me. That's a nice one, Alan. Remember, this is the tubes. Alan Kelly says the oldest model he has is his wife. Remember, this is the internet. People can see the internet. Whoa. Right, let's have a look at this model. This here, I'm just going to swirl this round a little bit. This here is the oldest model I have in the house. I'd almost forgotten about it because it lives in a box in the shed. This is Her Majesty's Customs Cutter, or it was Her Majesty's Customs Cutter Sentinel. It was when this was built, it was owned by the Coast Guard, or HM Customs, and they used it for piracy, immigration control, checking sort of activities around the shoreline. I'm not sure of what scale it is because I can't remember. It's that long since I built it. It was radio controlled. It isn't now because the radio control went from boat to boat. So as I built another ship, the radios came out of this and went on another one. So it moved on, and this is it. As I say, it's not a standard kit. It's not available. Unfortunately, it's not available from eModels. It's available from a specialist radio control boat manufacturer. This has won me a few prizes, and it's really old now. I would think this would be getting on for about 10-15 years old, probably. And it's just lived in the shed. You can't really see on the camera, but when I did this one, it's hand painted. Well, it's a rattle can. The rattle can is a grey automotive primer. The deck itself has been hand painted. Have all the fixtures and fittings. I'm trying to move it around so you can see a little bit of it. The vessel itself has twin engines, so it's got two twin propellers, and also on the back, I'll try and spin it around so we can see the aft end, the stern. She also has underneath here, under this grating, is a jet drive for operating in shallow water. The vessel itself, I think, had a crew of about 7, but it could take on extra crew for special operations and special duties. It also has a seaboat, and we'll take this off and we'll show you. It all comes apart so that we can get inside it. This is really a little kit in itself. It's I think it's an 8-metre rib, twin engines, and the kit itself, the rib itself, the model is a resin kit with white metal fittings, and all the tubes and everything on there is all part of the kit. So really that is about the oldest model I have. She really used to take it down the Part Lake, sail it away down there, and it went like a bullet. The only thing about a grey boat on the water is that when you have a radio controlled grey boat, if you take your eyes off it, you lose it. It's surprising how grey does blend in with the water. But that's her, Custom Cluster Sentinel. It's made out of a fiberglass hull, and the superstructure, some of the railings are falling off here. The superstructure is plastic card. It's just sheets, simple sheets of, this is a little bit thin, but it's about 1.5mm plastic card, which is just cut to shape, and then it's all formed and put together. The one thing about this vessel, the model itself, that where's a pointy stick? All these superstructure bits, even the Sentinel, let's move it a little bit closer, even the nameplate Sentinel, all the deck chairs, the skipper's chairs in the top, and all the controls were all white metal. Being a tall ship, when it used to fly around the lake at high speed, it was very top heavy, so I took all that out and replaced it, all scratch built everything in here with plastic styrene, using styrene strip and wire and everything else, and that really enhanced the performance. It also all lights up, all the navigation lights, signal lights, blue lights on the top. There's a blue light on the top here. It all lights up, or it did anyway. But that, Lee, that is the oldest model boat I've got. That's the oldest model I have in the house. After that, everything's sort of been pretty recent, or it's just moved on. Right, that's that. I'll just put that to one side. I'll just slide that over the back there, keep it on view. Hopefully it shouldn't get too much in the way there. And that. Right, I'm going to go back now, because while I've been talking to you, the chat has gone on a bit, so that I forgot what everybody says. Tim Desks asks, where did they get the radio control boat kit from? If you drop me an email, Tim, if you're interested, if you drop me an email, I'll give you the contact where it came from. But I think the manufacturer is still going. He still produces it. Whether he produces this one, I don't know, because these kits are very expensive to produce, because they're just a small company, a guy in a garage just producing them, produces them to order, and then when the interest moves on to other type of ships, he'll sort of cease production of this one. But they're not cheap, but they are enjoyable, and as you know me, I like big things, I like big models, and it'll take a good 6 to 12 months constant building to build that. Right, let's have a look back through the questions. I might have missed some. I do apologise if I miss any questions. If you think you really want a question answered, rather than just a comment, try it again as I'm reading them, and I'll try and catch up with you. Right, that's the sound problems. Paul Miller, how's the U-boat coming on? It's coming on alright, Paul, thank you. I'm not going to show any of it tonight because I want to save that for the video. The video's in production at the moment. I've 1 or 2 parts already filmed. I'm a little bit behind time of what I thought I would be, but the videos are coming on. Right, let's go down a little bit more. Right, still no sound. To the mic up. Yeah, we've got the sound sorted, I think. Yeah, sound sorted. Asking about the model boat. Making models. Carl was on a boat today. Did you enjoy it, Carl? Hope it wasn't the Ben McCree. If you saw in the news, the Isle of Man ferry crashed into the harbour wall at Douglas in the Isle of Man. I think you might be able to YouTube that now. Ben McCree crash, or Isle of Man ferry crash. Have a look and see what happened. Good evening to Roadie Hobby Corner. TK's joined us as well. Right. Nice boat. I'll be sleeping in the yard tonight, says TK. Okay. Morning Ted from New Zealand, says Robert. I think we said that one. John, hi John. Yes, we're here again for another live show. How do we get the white so white? Says Alan Kelly. You never can via an airbrush. The white on these isn't actually white anymore. It's a bit grey and grubby. But this model was built before I had the airbrush. So it's either from rattle cans or it's just been hand painted white. Thin coats, that's what you need with white. A white primer obviously, and just build it up. Would I ever sell that model, says Paul. It's getting a bit past it now, Paul. I'd consider selling it, but models of this size are just the transport of them and to ship them anywhere, unless it's being sold local, is because there's a box. It comes in a box that's, well, you can see the size of the ship. Yeah, Tim. Yeah, I did say a deck chair. It is a chair, and it's on the deck, so it must be a deck chair. On the Corvette, Robert Aitken, on the Corvette model that you're building, where can you get a Mark? I'm trying to work it out. Mark 19 gun for the bow. What scale are you building, Robert? There are a couple of companies around that, if you drop me an email once again and give me some details, and I'll forward you on to some specialist sort of model boat builders. Carl says he was it was a light well intervention boat for oil well logging. Right, he was loading explosive. Oh right, have to be fairly careful Paul Miller, he says, I got a moppy box delivered on Saturday off eBay. A moppy box? You have to enlighten us there, Paul. Right, what else have we got? I think we're about down to the bottom. Paul, yeah, just drop, Paul Miller, just drop me a line. As I say, it is a bit beyond its best. But, well, we can talk. Right, a few questions and answers. I haven't seen any questions up here yet from the live chat, but please do send them along. Yeah, I've got some IKEA storage boxes here at the back of me, holding my tools and stuff. Scruffy put, yeah, I've got some questions for you, Scruffy. We're going to look at the airbrush cleaning question that you sent a little bit later. He wants to make an existing Tiger tank into a war damaged one. Any suggestions how to go about it? I would suggest, if you're looking at a damaged tank, is Google. Try some Google images for damaged tanks, and then you can get the feel of what gets damaged, how it gets damaged, how metal's bent and buckled and burnt. Enjoy the research. That's what I do when I'm building models. I as well as building the model, I enjoy doing the research, which takes up a little bit of time, but sometimes you don't feel like sitting at the bench, but you can just sit inside, or I can just sit inside in front of the TV with a laptop on, just browsing some internet images of any research that I'm doing. Robert Aitken, the model is the Revell 1/72 scale flower class. Oh right, yeah, I know the model. I think there is some 1/72 stuff out there. You may have to do a little bit of searching because that's quite a popular Corvette. There will be some aftermarket stuff for it. I'm not quite sure on the Mark 19, but there'll be somebody out there. Yeah, just drop me a line and I'll have a look around myself, and if the companies and that I used to build with that still make this sort of stuff is still about, I'll be able to give you some more advice. Right, a question that's come in the emails is from Steve Cook, who says, what would I do if I didn't build models? I take it by that you meaning if I wasn't building models, what other hobby would I be doing? I would probably, I've dabbled a little bit in the past and it was involved in my job. I'd probably take up shooting. I don't know if I go out shooting animals or things like that. Probably target shooting, clay pigeon shooting. Clay pigeon shooting is quite good fun. I was shooting with a friend a few weeks ago. Really enjoyed that. Yeah, probably something like that, something to get me out and about, which I enjoy. Alan Kelly, do you play golf? What else? Anybody else do anything else other than sat at the modelling bench all the time? Once the better weather comes, once the summers are here, you sometimes find that bench time is put on the back burner for a little bit, as the family want you to take them for days out and sightseeing and meals and picnics and running through meadows and paddling in streams. Paul Stewart, he's an archer. Right, excellent, yeah, great. Not a very good one, and I'm not a very good shot either. I would think me with a gun, the safest place to be would be in front of me. Yeah, it's quite an unusual hobby, that one, Paul, archery. James says he does road running and he's looking at a half marathon in the next 2 years. Well, good luck with that. It's nice to see people keeping fit, keeping looking after themselves, getting out and about. It's not all about just sitting here at the bench. It's about having quality time with your family as well. because how many of you get that look when you just say to the good lady or the significant other, I'm just going out to the shed, and you get that look that you think, no, maybe I won't go out to the shed tonight. I'll stay in and do some of those chores that you kept me. Stefan Holmberg said he does radio control flying and radio control car racing. I once thought about radio control flying, and I would certainly like to build, say, a radio control Spitfire. I would probably spend months upon months building it, and then I would take it to the airfield. I would fly it for 5 minutes and crash it into the ground and take it home in a black bin bag. So that's why I never took up radio control flying. I suppose the same could be said of model boats that you sail around and they sink, and I have seen them sink, and fortunately none of them were mine. David was into mountain biking and road biking before he knackered his knee. Before he damaged his knee. Here in the Lake District, we see people out on bikes all the time. And TK, yeah, you're a gardener, and TK, I found out last night that the translation for TK's name is Garden Gnome. Right. So that's what I would probably do if I wasn't model making. I would probably take up shooting something. As I say, it most probably be clay pigeons, because as a lad I once remember having an air rifle, and I took a pot shot at a small bird in the garden. Fortunately, my air rifle wasn't powerful enough to kill anything. So the pellet bounced off this bird's chest and it flew away, and I felt horrible about it. So I don't know if I could actually kill anything, any live living thing anyway. Yeah. Oh boys, yeah, exactly. He's got a 1/16 radio control Spitfire, and he never flew it for that reason, that about taking it home in a black bin bag. Right, next question. On Alistair Bennett sends a question in about, is there anything I won't build? I had to think about this one today without upsetting anybody, because if the right model came along, I would probably build it, but I wouldn't go out of my way to build cars or motorbikes. Sorry about that, David. I don't think I'd go out my way to build it, because I'm not really interested in cars, and I'm not really interested in motorbikes. Sorry about that, Chris. I have a passing interest, yeah, if I see a nice car or a motorbike, yeah, that's nice, I like that, and then I'd pass on. But unlike my young lad, my son, I wouldn't go out my way I wouldn't go out my way to sort of build a car. TK, yeah, not the big car in the background. Yeah, that, when I say cars, I mean shiny, flash, sporty, prestige, showroom type cars, because I don't think I can do shiny cars. I wouldn't know how to. I'd have to come to you lot out there and find out how to do shiny cars. Alan Kelly's got a stash of 50% cars. Yeah, as I said, I didn't want to upset anybody. Yeah, I don't particularly. A lot of friends, most of my friends are into sci-fi. Yeah, I've built a Gundam. I have built one. Speaking of which, where is Fox? I built a Gundam. As we said the other week when we were talking about Star Wars, it's never really struck me. Star Wars. So yeah, I don't think I would specifically build a car or a motorbike. unless there was one that really took my fancy. Right, where are we up to now? Let's have the question. Right, here's one from Ron Kent, who I think he came today. Ron, he wants to prime the metal parts of the Dagonosti Spitfire before painting, and what metal primer can he use? When you're on about the metal parts, I'm assuming you mean the white metal parts or the photo etch or things like that. You do say that you're going to paint them with acrylics, and most of your standard primers, especially the UMP primer, it will stick to the metal, and provided that the metal isn't going to get handled or messed around very much, it will probably stick very well. This all the wire, I don't know, it's a bit far away from you now, but all the handrails on this are just metal, copper, hand painted in silver. But since I've built the boat, I have around here somewhere, yeah, one moment, I have some Mr. Metal surface primer. If any of you are out building your models and you have photo etch and stuff, that's what this is for. For metal, it primes the metal, it gives your paint a grab on the metal. It's probably, I would probably think it's some sort of an etch, just to provide a grab for your paint. So Mr. Metal primer, available from eModels, would probably do the job. That's what you're gonna, and you'll get away with it at that. Once you've put your paint on and then give it a coat of varnish after that, it's going to become fairly hard wearing anyway, and I would probably think that your model's not going to get handled too much, so the paint isn't going to chip and peel off. So that's that one. Right, let's have a look now at see if I've got the workbench. I'm thinking that when I got the workbench, we lose the sound when we go to the workbench, so we won't go to the workbench tonight. What we're going to have a look at, right, a couple of questions just came in there. Ted, what's my favourite armour build? How do you mean? Do you mean armour, modern armour, or particular tank, or anything like that? I quite like early war, I quite like late war to Cold War armour. The Chieftain tank, some of the late developments are in the German, so that's sort of armour I'm quite interested in too. Any sort of AFVs from around that period, because they began that transition stage from becoming all manual, sort of hand cranked, if that's the right thing to say. It sort of became from the manual sort of labour type driving a tank to its transition into the electronic age, the Cold War, and as tanks were developed for the need. Right, the big question and the demo for tonight is a question that was sent in by Scruffy Pup, who wanted a little sort of an input into airbrush cleaning. And I thought what we'd probably do this evening is give you a quick demo, just get something to protect the bench with, and we'll look at how we can do a paint change from one colour, we'll use black in this case, or you're finishing for the day and you want to give your airbrush a bit of a clean out. So first of all, what do we need? We need an airbrush, we need some paint, we need a brush. When I get one out. Don't use your best brushes. John Henley says, is there a glue for vinyl tracks? He seems to be stuck trying to find something as super glue and styrene glue doesn't work. Or does he go aftermarket? Well, John, you can go aftermarket. You can get some metal tracks that will do the job. Vinyl tracks, the best way to do them, and depending on what sort of scale you're doing it, is use a stapler. Staple them together. Put the two ends together, butt them together, and then staple through them. And then if you position the track right, the road wheels or the skirt around the wheels will hide the staples and you won't see them. That's really the only way to do it. I've never found a suitable sort of product that will glue vinyl tracks because you'll glue them, it'll grab, you'll put them on the wheels and it'll look great, and you'll go and have a cup of tea and come back and the tracks come off again. Yeah, but try a stapler. Right, paint. We're going to have a go at cleaning the airbrush. I'm going to try and do my best on here so you can see it. We'd normally go across to the workbench, and I'm a bit upset tonight because I've let you all down. We can't see what. Yeah, Carl. Yeah, super glue does work. You can buy the thick super glue. The thicker the super glue, the longer it takes to go off. And you can try a kicker with it as well, just to activate it and make it go hard. But I still find that sometimes they do still spring apart. It depends how much tension's on your track. But good luck with that. And just keep trying. But yeah, if you go down the metal tracks, that's excuse me. Oh, I'm just getting the airbrush supply. Sorry about that. Just getting the airbrush supply. Right, airbrushing. Cleaning the airbrush. Just put a drop in there. Work it around, and we've been spraying the airbrush. Spraying with the airbrush for the day. No air. Everything's gone wrong tonight. Just let the tank build up a little bit of pressure, and we can put some air through the airbrush. Now what we can normally do is just keep going until all the all the paint is gone. If you've got a cup full, there's nothing wrong with just pouring it back in the bottle. If you know if there's anything, if you haven't thinned it, if it's come straight from the bottle as this one, nothing wrong with putting it straight back in the bottle, because you know that we're all tight-fisted modelers. We won't spend any money unless we have to. So we could just, we have one of these, just empty the paint into there. Right, now what we need to do now is we can use some UMP airbrush cleaner. The products are available, and we just put a drop in there, about half a cup. And what we want to do now, it's really awkward this, not having the workbench to do it with. What we do is clean everything around, get it in there, clean it out. And also don't forget the tip as well. Using a brush, not a cotton tip, what I try and do is pull the needle back so that it's not exposed, and just clean the tip. There's the airbrush start, there's the compressor starting again. Just clean that. And then we can tip this lot of junk out. I wouldn't put this first flush through the tip because no, what we haven't done is we haven't bubbled it. We haven't back flushed it. Now then, you can back flush the Harder and Steinbach, the H&S, with a crown cap. You'll find that you can't get an air seal on the back of it. You can't get an air seal on the tip. However, you can, what I find is that you can do it if you soak that, and then it'll bubble. See, bubbling in there. What that's doing is blowing back the paint back through the seals and just clearing the paint inside. Now, if you do have the H&S, you can, for a few pence, buy a little yellow cap. It just does go over there, and once again you could do the same in there. See, it bubbles. And then pour that into your paint pot, your container, and clean it up. Power Gym, no, not everybody has an airbrush. Not everybody has an airbrush, and to start with, I never had an airbrush. That wasn't painted with an airbrush. Rattle cans, hairy stick, just does the job. You can get the cap Allen. Have a look on eModels there. eModels have sort of started selling Harder and Steinbach equipment, and they may have the cap. It's only a little plastic cap. Just a few pence, I think. Be handy if you're ordering something else, then you can sort of throw it in with the order. Right, so now just a little bit more cleaner in there. Work it around again, and then just spray it off. And that, in about a few minutes, is all you need to do for a change of colour. It's put that back in there. I'm trying to show you here that we're getting just pure thinners, just pure cleaner through it now. So that's all there is to it. That's the mysterious sort of airbrush cleaning, flushing, sort of difficulties done with. Really easy. There's no magic to it. That's all we need to do. What I normally do is, before I store it, I'll just put a drop of airbrush thinner, just a drop, just to keep everything sort of wet inside. And next time you come to use it, because it's got thinners in, if you forget, it won't interact with it won't react with your paints and things like that. Yeah, it is a little bit harder with the enamels, Alan, just a little bit more messy. I think the same principle applies, but just use an appropriate enamel cleaner, white spirits or anything like that, a little bit sort of more special, a little bit more smelly. Yeah, but that's all I do, and that will be all you need for a change of colour or finish painting for the day. There's no need to strip your airbrush down every time you use it. Just wasting your time. Just strip it when things start to clog up a little bit, when it doesn't feel right, then you can have a strip down. Take the ends cap off your needle chuck at the back, slide the needle out the front, not out the back, otherwise you're pulling paint back all the way through your brush. Slide your needle out the front, then clean it all up that way. People have, somebody mentioned before, ultrasonic cleaners. Personally, I've never used one. I've never felt the need to use one. Let me turn that compressor off a moment. Yeah, I've never really had the need to use an ultrasonic cleaner. Some people swear by them. If that's what you're into and that's what you like, yeah, no problem, try it out. But I'd spend money on some paint and other things like that. So that's, yeah. You haven't got an airbrush cleaning pot, says TK. What I've seen some people using is detergent bottles. Stick your airbrush in there and clean it up, and it'll take ages to fill that. Yeah, but if you are using enamels and you are spraying thinners, everything through them, first of all make sure that your spray booth is vapor safe, that you've got brushless motors, non-sparking. If you're not using a spray booth, make sure you're working in the fresh air or outdoors, and wear a mask. Wear a mask because I don't want, well, I would like to see us all in hospital with plastic coated lungs, even if it's acrylics, because the particles will get and hold in your lungs. Another tip is Iwata Super Lube. That I've had that for a couple of years now, and there's very little gone out the top. When you're finished, and if you're stripping down your airbrush, a drop of that on the working parts, your needle, your air valve, keeps it free and fresh as a daisy. Matthew Birtles has spotted, yes, I have had a new haircut. God, you lot are you notice everything. Right, where were we? So we've done airbrush cleaning. Now what? Right, have we got any other questions? Right, silly question time. Paul Stewart, are you in the room? Because tonight's question, I will answer it first, and then it's up to you lot to answer for yourselves. Sunday lunch, is it A, ploughman's, or is it a roast dinner? Over to you. For me, depends on what time of year it is. If it's the summer, a nice ploughman's lunch with a pint of cider or a nice long cold drink. If it's the winter, like it is now, it's freezing out there, I would go with the Sunday lunch. Chicken, turkey, all the trimmings, stuffing, big hot mug of tea, and yeah, that's what I do. James Charlton said that he would have neither. He'd have steak pie and rosties. Yeah, cool. That's a thought. Some of you may not be aware of what a ploughman's lunch is because you live in other parts of the world. A ploughman's lunch is a bit of a salad. Cheese, bread, pickled onions, got pickles with it. Yeah, I've said cheese, apple, grapes, depending on the whim of the chef and what's in season. So yeah, that's generally what they would do. Yeah, I do enjoy a salad. Even in the depths of winter I'd have a salad. Hot pockets, what do you mean hot pockets, Adam? I couldn't think of your name then, sorry. What, hot pockets, what are them? Yeah, ploughman's born in a God country. Ploughman's born in God's great country, Yorkshire. That's right, Alan. The land of the Yorkshire pud. Which I suppose when you're talking about roast dinners, the Yorkshire pud's a must. And Yorkshire puddings, the traditional Yorkshire pudding with onion gravy, served in Yorkshire. Can't beat it. Yep, John, tasty cheese, pickles and fresh warm bread. I particularly like the bread. You could just serve me a plate of bread and cheese and I would be most happy. We've got some artisan bakers in the town and they serve wonderful breads, nice warm bread. You can smell it as you go into work in the mornings, and unbeatable. Yeah, Paul Stewart, chicken, is that tantamount to cannibalism? Well, I don't let on to model making chicken. What we're having for dinner, as she's clucking around the kitchen door. Unfortunately, one of her relatives is in the oven. We don't let on. We don't tell her. Stampot. You must explain, TK, what stampot is. That some Dutch. Which cheese? Scruffy pup? Oh, I like any cheeses. Blue cheeses, any strong cheese. And Adam says, what were they called again? Hot pockets. It's a frozen bread pocket with cheese, meat and you nuke for about 3 minutes. Right, yep, we'll try one of them. Someone on it. Google, it's Dutch winter food and awesome. I think anything that the Dutch have seems to be awesome. Right, where are we up to now? I think we've got through all the questions, have we? We've done Scruffy Pup's hot airbrush. We've done Lehigh's, what's the oldest model? That one. What would I do if I didn't build models? Done that one. Alistair, is there anything I won't build? Yeah, we've done that. Ron, we've answered yours. If you've sent me an email and it maybe didn't arrive in time, or I hadn't seen it in time for the live stream, I will respond to you on the email and I'll answer your question on there as well. If you guys can have a think about any questions that you want answering for next week's show, yeah, send them to me on, find the link again, send me them on there, send me on there and just put in your heading live stream and I'll know then that you will be out watching for it, and the question, I'll do your question on live stream. I'll do the question on live stream for you, and if it could, I will as well answer your question on email. Right then, that's eModels. That's it's just not working tonight. Things are not working. Right, what we're going to do next week. Yeah, Carl, the guys at eModels, I'll pass on your thanks to them. I don't know if any of them are watching tonight. We've got a few watching. There's more watching than there are chatting, but welcome to you. If you are chatting, if you are just sat watching, enjoy it. And if you'd like just to come and say hello. Right, what we're going to do next time. Next time, we're not having a good giveaway this week. We're going to have one next week. And yeah, Paul, email me about the ball. Right, what are we going to do next week? Well, next week I'm going to hopefully have a special guest to come along with us, and he can help me give away this. That is the M1A1A2 Abrams tank with a full interior, and that will be given away next week to one of you lucky people in chat. Have another look. Unfortunately, when we go there, I lose the sound again. See that little bit in the bottom left hand corner? It's got a complete interior. I've read some reviews on that model. It's fantastic. It's not a cheap kit, and eModels have decided that they're going to give it away. I'll have to think up a good question for you for next week, but you have to be here and in chat to take part. We've had 2 giveaways so far, and both gone to happy recipients, and hopefully we'll see the finished product of the model. So you'll have to come along next week. As I say, we'll have a guest with us next week. We'll probably do a different style of live stream, and hopefully that special guest could be, if he's free, if he's available. Can't promise anything because I never know what this man's doing, but we're going to invite Fox to come along with us. So if you no, we're not doing the answers, no. Ask a question from this week's show regards your boat. Right, yeah, as I say, I'm going off track there. I'm going to invite Fox to come along next week, so if you've got any Gundam questions for the man himself, the model making guru, you can ask. That's all bearing that he's not elsewhere involved. Yes, Chris, eModels will ship anywhere in the world. If you want it, they will get it to you. Shipping isn't a problem to them. The only thing about shipping to places like the USA and things like that is that 1 or 2 items are restricted. They can't go in the post, they can't go on flights, aircraft, things like that. So there are a few things that they can't actually ship out. Yeah, Fox, Matthew Fox is the one that did the transit build. He's on with that at the moment. Maybe he could come along and give us a talk on that next week, or tell us what he's up to. eModels needs to set up a USA page. Well, they've got the yeah. I'll come over to the USA and set up shop for them, and live over in the USA, paid of course. That's what we could do over there. And your hair on sorry Matthew, your hair on picture, right. Right, it seems like we've, well, apart from apart from 5 minutes or so at the start when we didn't have any sound, we've reached the end of our hour. I do apologise at the beginning for the sound. I'm going to strip everything down now and find out why this microphone isn't working, and have a look at that and get it all ready for next week. But that's it from me here at the live stream tonight. Ted at emodels.co.uk, there, that one, and the guys over at eModels. Have a look at their website. If you want anything, it'll be on there. If they've got it, it will be on the website. If it's not on the website, you probably don't need it, or they haven't got it, but you probably won't need it. Alright, I haven't, yeah, the video about the transit, Paul says I need to watch the start of the transit build, and I'll know what Matthew means. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I've been at work. I got the notification when I was out driving, so I didn't have a chance to have a look at it yet. I will have a look at that later. Right, Chris, thank you for joining us. Thank you, it's your first time with us. Yeah, please come back anytime. Come back and enjoy it. But that's the time up for this evening, and I'm going to go off now, put the boat away, make some space on the bench, and get back to filming for the U-boat, and get the bomb room done, which I've since heard it's been called the torpedo room. So yeah, come back next week everyone, and have a go at winning that superb giveaway. I'll show you the picture again, and you can go and look it up on eModels website. That one. Rye model fields, Rye field models. Yeah, Google Airbrush, and it will come up on the not Google. Search on the eModels website for Airbrush, and it will come up, and you can have a look at it. And yeah, it has got a full interior. So that's it from me. We've got on quite a bit tonight. Hopefully you've got to grips with cleaning the airbrush. Thanks for asking about. Thanks to Lee for asking about the old model and giving me a chance to get the old girl out and have a look at it. And we'll see you all next week. So that's it from me. And we'll see you all next week. Bye.